Hey, 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 it's Friday night, and guess what that means? We are around the table. Come on in and sit with us because tonight is going to be super, super excited. I am your vision coach, Alicia, and tonight, we are going to be taking this to a whole different level from the publisher's perspective. So go ahead and share, invite someone to come on in and sit with us around the table. Tell them bring their juice, their water, some champagne, whatever suits their fancy, and come sit with us because we are ready to have a great time tonight. Come on, listen, but before Erica, my very, very special guest, and I get started tonight, I always want to remind you that this is a sponsored show by Lorraine Bar International. And Lorraine Bar International is an organization that helps those in need, those that have experienced loss, those that have experiencing difficulty with their health concerning cancer. Lorraine Bar International, they help with wigs, they help with specialty bras, they help with wheelchairs, makeup, and doctor's visit. Anything that is needed to make the life of that person easier. And guess what? Lorraine is so unselfish because what happened was she retired from her job of over 20 years in the cancer field. And then guess what? She found out she had cancer. Once she found that out, she said, I am going to do whatever it takes to help others. And so she founded Lorraine Bar International. And I just want to ask you all tonight to just be kind to Lorraine and go to that Cash App, $ Lorraine Bar One, and send her a donation, no matter what size. You could start at $5. Listen, five is the number of favor and grace. And if you do that, she would really be appreciative, and so would I. Okay? So, as we get started tonight with Around the Table with my very, very special guest, Erica, how are you?
I am fantastic, Coach Alicia. How are you tonight?
I am fantabulous. Okay? And I'm even more so because you are here with me. Listen, I want to begin by having you tell our listening audience a little bit about yourself and who you are. I don't do bios, I don't read bios. I think you are your own walking bio. So if you just let them know a little bit about you, Erica, that would be absolutely great.
Absolutely. Hello, everyone. My name is Erica Green. I reside in Raleigh, North Carolina, and I am an entrepreneur, an author, a mom, a mentor, and a business coach. I am actually the founder and publisher of Shero Publishing, where we help authors from creation to launch. I also work with business owners in establishing and branding their businesses and growing their profits as a business coach. And I'm a corporate executive in corporate America as a healthcare executive. So have a lot of things going on, but they're all to serve others. So I'm so glad to be here today.
Yes. Thank you, Erica. That is just such an awesome portfolio and a glimpse of who you are because I know there's absolutely more to you, and I get the pleasure of knowing some of the other sides of you. So I am just excited tonight. Listen, as I started doing this show and it expanded because I first started doing this just for coaches, and then the Holy Spirit, and that's why it's important to be in tune with the Holy Spirit. He said to me one day, I want you to expand this to not only to coaches. I mean, I started with authors. He said, I need you to expand it to coaches and entrepreneurs. And when I did that, I really knew that I was then tapping in to the very place that God has really called me to be. And so, because authors are so important in my life, this all started when I wrote my books. I wrote 5 books, and they were all self-published books. And when I wrote the books, I had no idea how to publish the books. I had no idea. I sat with one for about 6 months trying to figure out, and I didn't like the self-published thing. And I said, I don't want to do this on my own. So I started seeking, and I found someone that was all the way in Hawaii. And she did a great job for me with publishing my book. And since then, I dibbled and dabbled a little bit in publishing. And when I realized all that goes into publishing, I like doing this. I like talking and I like interviewing the authors much better. But tonight, I'm so excited because we're going to get to look at this for a different view. So, my very first question to you is, how did you get into publishing?
Oh, that's a great question. And as I listened to you, I thought this is perfect because we can talk about all of it. We've got the entrepreneurs here, we've got publishing, we can talk about the authors, and we're business coaches. So we can talk about all of it tonight. I love it. I love it. But I got into publishing through a lot of my travels. I've traveled all over the country, supporting other entrepreneurs and business owners, attending different conferences, and I would meet so many fantastic women with amazing stories. And they'd all, every time I met someone, I'd say, you need to write that down. You need to publish that. And I remember meeting this young lady and God saying, you need to help her. And it's like a light bulb went off, and I realized that I needed to be the conduit to help them to birth these stories. So many women, and that's why we call it Shero. We do help men too, but we're focused on those women who have those untapped stories of courage and strength. They've gone through trials and they've come out triumphant. And a lot of times we just got to know that our stories aren't just for us. They're to bring others out. And so my goal, it was Shero Publishing, is to help hold their hand from beginning to end to birth those stories. You know, the publishing process can be so overwhelming. It can be so overwhelming that a lot of people hold on to their stories and they don't release them. And so what my team does is we actually work with women who come with an idea and nothing written down. And we help them to develop that into a full manuscript. And then we help them publish it and market it for success. We create bookpreneurs. So we're showing them how to create profits from their books and generate it as a second or third or fourth stream of income and generate monthly profits from their books. So it became a passion of mine, but it actually came from hearing everybody else share their stories and thinking, you got to get that out. You got to share that with the world. And I heard God say, you need to help them.
Wow, that is so awesome. You said a word that called bookpreneurs. Wow.
Yes,
that is awesome. You know, that kind of reminded me because this week I started on a new health journey and I find myself out on my porch. So I call it porch-a-size. I'm out there porch-a-sizing every morning. So we can come up with these fantastic. I'll write a book on porch-a-sizing one day. Anyway, I want to quickly go and ask you the next question. And you kind of answered it a little bit, but can you take us through the journey of the publisher's process when someone brings their book to you?
Oh, good question. So we have two types of authors, and I'll talk a little bit about those who they have an idea but not a book, and then we'll talk about those who come to us with a manuscript. Typically, most people think of publishers and they think about waiting until they're finished, but not at Shero Publishing. We'll literally help you when you have nothing written down, okay? So let me talk about that first. For that woman or man who says, I got an idea, but I have a concept, but I haven't written it down, or I have a few pages, but I haven't finished it. We have a whole team of book coaches and ghostwriters who will work with you within 60 days to develop your polished manuscript. They're meeting every week. They're drafting the chapters with you, so you're never doing it alone. And they're making sure that you develop a cohesive, polished manuscript. So once that manuscript is then birthed, Then our editors and our graphics team will come in and start working on really creating a seamless, cohesive project and making sure that the book covers and all of the marketing meet the vision of the author, because this is their baby and we want it to align with their vision. So we work with them on the creation of it. Once it's ready to go to print, our marketing team steps in and starts to help them to market it and to generate book sales. Our goal is by the pre-launch, our authors have actually gotten their investment back. So before they start to get a book in hand, they have made their money back on their investment for publishing. And that's because of the methodology behind how we work, our system of developing their manuscript and then helping them to pre-launch and launch successfully. Now, for that person who comes and they say, I already got it written out, I have a manuscript, then we really go to work with fine-tuning their manuscript, really making sure that it's edited, that all the content is polished. Our editors do a phenomenal job. They're not proofreaders, but they are content perfecters. So they're going to make sure that everything is completely seamless. And then we're going to go into the pre-launch and the marketing phase with them. And our goal, because a lot of our team are also certified business coaches, our goal is to help them along the way to learn the steps to become bookpreneurs, so that when they launch that book, they're targeting their niche audience. They're marketing to the right people to generate sales, not just once, but on a monthly basis. So what we say here at Shero Publishing is don't wait until you're finished. If you have an idea, come now and we'll help you birth that in the next 60 days.
Oh, Erica, this is so exciting because I feel like you actually take that person by the hand and it becomes very personal for each person to get that personal attention of what their project is. I am just so excited. I think I'm ready to become a client.
All right.
How long has Shero Publishing been around?
Oh, great question. So Shero Publishing has been publishing books for the last 6 years. We've worked with thousands of authors, and we not only do we do books for adults, we do children's books, and we do a ton of book compilations, which is one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about tonight, because our book compilations also allow those authors who are saying, I've got a story, but I'm not sure it's a full book, for them to join a project as a co-author and still get their stories out. And we work with the host of those compilations to create income for them throughout the process. So we've been around for 6 years and we've helped authors publish over thousands of books.
This is so exciting for me. I want to go to our audience right now. Let's see what they are saying, if they're asking any questions. Hi, ladies. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Who is this? Linda Simmons Perry. Hi, Linda. Excited that you get to share the great services that you provide. That is awesome.
Awesome.
Hi, Miss Moore. She's shouting out and saying hi. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask the expert. That she is here for that particular reason. We want to make sure here at on this show that we supply all resources that are necessary for those that are authors, those that want to be authors, and those that think they are authors, to be able to get their books printed, to get their books published, to get their books marketed. And Shero Publishing is one of the best. I have looked at several different publishing companies because I really want to make sure that there's enough to go around. And I am telling you, when Erica said yes, I've been trying to get Erica here for at least 2 months, but her schedule has been so busy. So now that you all have her here, please ask questions. Let's see. Tiffany Tiffany says, I went through Shero Publishing. Erica and her team are awesome. I can truly vouch for that. See, that is
Awesome.
testimony. So those of you that are listening today, those of you that may get this replay, Erica, just tell them real quickly before we get into the other details, how can they contact Shero Publishing?
Absolutely. So on all social media platforms, we are at SheroPublishing.com. And you can go to our website, SheroPublishing.com. You can schedule your 30-minute free book consultation. So even if you have questions, we'll answer your questions. We get a lot of authors that they're not even sure how they want to get their book out, but we're there to help guide you and answer any questions that you have. So the best thing to do is schedule your free 30-minute book consultation. As soon as you go on the website, you'll see the link to schedule, and our team will sit down with you for 30 minutes and help you to create a plan for your book. A lot of authors walk out of the consultation with a full book outline. So we really do pour into you during those consultations and really help you to really master your pathway to publishing. So really, SheroPublishing.com or on all social media at Shero Publishing.
That is awesome. Great. Thank you so much. I had a question. I know that you said that within 60 days. So what is the average length of time for publishing a book? Is it within that 60-day period? The writing of the book, the putting the book together, and the publishing of the book?
That's a great question. Yes. So the average time is 60 to 90 days, depending on your project. If you're having our ghostwriters completely write the book for you, it's going to be more than 90 days. For most of our authors who are coming in and they just need book coaching, they can absolutely get that book published and in hand in 60 days. A lot of our authors, it might be shorter than that. We just had an author who came to us on a Saturday and she had books in hand for her launch on Friday. So we can get it done as quickly as you need. It just depends on your timeline. Now, we are flexible with our authors because we want to make this affordable as well. We know this is an investment, but we also want it to be affordable and flexible for every author. So we do offer payment plans, and we base that upon when you want to launch. So we do have some authors that are working right now towards January and February. But if you come today and you say, I need it by November, we can get that for you too.
That is so awesome. Listen, I don't want to lose some of these questions. Here is a question. How did you come up? This is jumping real fast. How did you come up with that statement making the name Shero? How did you come up? Yes.
All right. So listen, ladies, we all know that we go through life with an S on our chest. We as women have so many things that we overcome, so many silent battles that we take on and we face, and we keep it moving with a smile on our face. But people don't know what we've been through. And so Shero is just to resonate with the strong women that are our authors, the strong women that share and birth their stories. We have women who come and share stories from domestic violence. We have women who come and share stories of great loss. We have women who come and share success stories of becoming an entrepreneur. But for every woman that comes, by the time she gets that book in her hand, she has really unleashed that Shero. And so our goal and our slogan is always to unleash the Shero from within. And that's what we do within those 60 to 90 days, is help you to get that untapped story out there to the world to bless others, because there are women who need your story to keep moving forward. There are women who need your story to say, gosh, if she made it through this, I can make it through this. And so we might not think of ourselves as Sheros, but we are. We are Sheros. We're Sheros for our families. We're Sheros for the community. We're Sheros for everybody else. But sometimes we've just got to say, you know what? It's time for me to get my story and my legacy down. Because remember, when you write it in a book, ladies and gentlemen, you are creating a written legacy for your family that will outlive you for generations to come. So you truly are a Shero or a hero.
Wow, that is so awesome. That is for us to understand that we're not writing the book for ourselves. We are writing it because there's somebody out there that need what it is you have to say. Erica, here's a question for you.
All
Erica,
right.
what advice would you give for someone that have several ideas for a book but not sure where to start?
Oh, congratulations first. You're in a fantastic position. The advice I would give you is schedule your book consultation. What our team is going to do with all of your different topics is we're going to lay those out and share with you the best way to launch those. Whether it's a book series or if it's a sequence of books, depending on the subjects. So, depending on what types of subjects you want to write about, we're going to give you the best advice on how to line those books up, whether they need to be combined or if they need to be single books in a series. But it's important that you have that carved out time for your consultation so that we can really look at what are the topics you're addressing and what's the best way to address those to bless your audience. Great job.
Wow. These are some really good questions.
I
Listen,
love
you
it.
are sitting around the table. I am your vision coach, Alicia George. And tonight, my guest is Erica Perry Green of Shero Publishing. And she is giving lots of info. So if you are watching and you have a friend that you know may need to write a book, share this broadcast so that they can tune in with us right now. They don't have to wait until later and get some of this good stuff while it's here. Erica, I am just so excited because of all the knowledge that you have as a publisher. Listen, um, one of my questions you really answered it already, but I want to ask it in a different form. Um, do you coach writers um, into really understanding the process of writing a book, the layout of a book, how they should be thinking when they're writing a book? Is that part of a publisher's role?
It might not be part of every publisher's role, but it's part of our team. So we actually, our book coaches, they do intensive writing workshops, which you can still find all of that information on our website. But we do have virtual and live workshops that allow you to start the process of how to write a book effectively and how to get a book out quickly, from how to develop your book outline to how to pick an effective chapter titles to picking the title of the book, and then how to create time to write consistently every week to work a book in 30 days. So they actually give you the tips, the techniques, and the tools to do that in those workshops. Now, if you are a Shero Publishing author and you say, hey, Erica, I need a book coach, your book coach is going to hold your hand through that process. So they're going to walk you through on your coaching calls how to develop a seamless book and manuscript. So they'll start with developing your book outline. They're going to talk about what is your focus niche group. You're going to have an avatar. By the time you finish, you're going to have a pitch for your book, and you're going to be ready to go even before the book is in print. So they actually hold your hand through all of those steps if you're a client. But if you're in one of the writing intensive workshops, they're going to give you those techniques and tools as well.
Wow, this is so good. I am learning a whole lot. My little dibbling and dabbling that I did as a publisher was nothing compared to this. But I have a other question.
Sure.
Have you ever had the opportunity to really work with a client making the suggestion that they need to change the title of their book and came into resistance? What did you do in a situation like that?
Absolutely. So a lot of times we have a title before we actually have a developed manuscript. So I'll have a lot of authors who will come and they think they know what their title is, but we've got some really good editors. So as they start to read the manuscript, sometimes your title that you started off with is not the title that the polished manuscript fits. So we not only work with editing their content, but we're looking at their content. Does this flow and match the title? Is there a theme in the book that would match a different title, or should we shift the title a little bit? So usually by the time they finish, if we give them suggestions on shifting or changing their title, they can seamlessly see how that aligns with their story. And we always give them reasons why. So we'll give them suggestions, but the final title is up to them. But usually they do pick the title that we suggest.
That's let me ask you a question. I saw that you have some books.
Yes.
With you. Do you want to say anything in particular about any of these books that you have with you?
Absolutely. So all of these books that I bought with me, I could have picked tons, but I picked compilation books because I really want people to understand. And there's several projects that are ongoing right now on our website if you're interested in becoming a co-author. But there's so many different types. This book is the Love Pack. It was a book, a compilation on couples sharing hundreds of years of experience in being married and what that looks like to have a successful marriage. A reason to be was, how do you find your purpose in life? How do you find your God-given purpose? And then how do you tap into that? Her story, my story, is about Shero sharing their stories of overcoming and triumphs that they've gone through. And listen, we got lots of business owners. So this is, and most of these that I'm showing you were bestsellers on Amazon. This is another Amazon bestseller. And this is Nonprofit Legacy. And this is about all of those business owners who want to launch a nonprofit. It gives you the tips, the tools, the techniques to launch a nonprofit. And this is actually my baby that started the entire thing, Unleash Your Shiro. And this was the first book published by Shero Magazine, which became Shero Publishing. And this allowed women to talk about how they overcame the hardest thing in their life to unleash their Shiro. But the reason that I wanted to share these is I want everybody to take those excuses of why they can't become an author and throw them in the trash. You don't even have to have an entire manuscript to become an author. You can join a compilation and share your story as a co-author. As a co-author, you still are able to sell those books and create additional income for yourself as a bookpreneur. As a co-author, you can still use that to focus on your expertise. So there's so many different ways that you can get your story in a published work. So when you go to our website, you'll also see a list of upcoming compilations and how you can join those as well. So I want everybody to know, because there's some people that are sitting there and they say, I've got a story, but I'm not sure it's long enough for a book. That's okay. There's still a way that you can become a published author. Join a compilation. Or if you're out there and you're saying, Erica, I've got an idea for a compilation. Did you know that you can host a compilation completely free and generate income for yourself? You need to reach out to us and share with us your idea so that our team can show you how to launch your own compilation. There's so many ways that you can use published works to grow your business and to edify yourself. We work with a lot of business owners and we help them to take their expertise and put it into published works. So if you are if you're a coach out there, if you're a business owner, we just had some hairstylists that said, you know what, Erica, I'm telling everybody these tips for free. I need to put it in a book and sell it. We just had coaches that said, I have so many coaching and training workshops, I need to put it in a published work. So whether it's books, workshops, journals, if you're an entrepreneur and you don't have published products, you are missing a whole group of products that can be sold constantly in your business, creating continuous revenue for you. So make sure that you're maximizing your profits by getting your expertise published. So we do ebooks, we do workbooks, we do journals, and we do full books for entrepreneurs as well. So I wanted to share all of that because I want you to take the excuses away and understand that you have an opportunity to publish no matter what realm you're in, and we'll help support that as well.
This is great information that you all should be charged for just the information that you're getting tonight. I am your vision coach, Alicia, and I see the vision of you writing a book. And if you are ready, you hear what she said, you don't have to have anything, just come with an idea and they will help you build. And if you do have something, they will take you through the process of making your dream become a reality. Listen, we've got to learn that we have to trust each other in the process. And so that leads to my next question.
All right.
Have you ever had someone come to you that came to you because they were upset or burnt with a previous publisher, and then they came to you? How do you handle a client like that is already in that place of feeling like, I didn't get what I paid for, it didn't work out or whatever, and now they're coming to you? How do you as a publisher make them comfortable and help them through the process of now choosing to work with you?
Oh, I love that. You know, one of the things that's so important to me is transparency, and then just sharing the entire process with all of our authors. I think if you're transparent with your clients and you let them know upfront what they can expect, it helps to build trust. So actually, the example I gave you earlier of the client who came to us the week before her launch was a client who had already published. She was not impressed with her book. She wanted it to look different. She wanted a different layout. And so we met and I walked her through the entire process of what we do. I built that trust. And then I gave her a guarantee that I give all of my authors. I can guarantee that you're going to be impressed with your final project, or we'll give you this money back. And so we took her book on Saturday, and we redid the entire book. And by Friday, she had books in hand. I want you to get this. Not just was it finished, but she had published books in hand for her launch on Saturday. So yes, things happen. Listen, things happen. Not everybody in business is going to be the same. But what I would say is, when you come with an open mind and perspective. Every publishing company is not the same. And we here at Shero Publishing, we really care about each and every author. In the end, we want your vision to be in that printed work. We want them to see exactly what they came to us to receive as their final copy. So we're going to work with them to develop that vision. And we really let everyone know that their voice is being heard. And we want them to be an integral part of the process throughout each layer of the process. So when we first started, we talked to them about every department in the company and how they're going to help them in the development of their book. We share with them what every person in the team is going to do and what the next steps are. So I think that you build trust when people understand what's going to happen and they know transparently how the process works, and you answer all of their questions. I tell every author, you're going to have questions in the middle of the night. Never be afraid to ask any question you have. It is our job to answer those questions for you and to make sure you feel comfortable. And that's exactly what we strive to do.
Wow. Let me look at some comments here. This is obviously someone, and she happened to have been a guest on this show because I recognize her name. And she is saying, we just picked up and moved on and started over. And I agree, she was transparent and available. So this was someone, I guess, that had was at another publisher and came to you and you made everything all right. And that is Tiffany. Thank you, Tiffany, so
All
much. That
right,
is
Shiro.
amazing. I want to let you know that on Around the Table, we showcase authors, coaches, and entrepreneurs. And if you are an author, if you're a coach, or you're an entrepreneur and you would like to come on our show, just DM me, Alicia George, on Facebook, and I will send you the information. You can fill it out and book your date. We are excited whenever someone comes on the show because we know that we are here to share what you have available for others to know about. Listen, I have one other question for you before I let you say whatever is on your heart. Book covers. How important are book covers?
Oh my goodness. Book covers are so important in publishing. Your book cover should capture your audience, but it should also convey the tone and the spirit of your book. And we have some phenomenal graphics designers that work behind the scenes on our book covers. I was just looking at a client a minute ago. But one of the reasons that I firmly think we get so many bestsellers is because the book covers are so phenomenal. They grab the attention, even on Barnes & Noble and Amazon, to order the book. So you want a book cover to capture the attention of the audience, and you really want it to stand out. Okay. So our graphics team is really going to work with each author to gain a visual image of their book cover, conceptualize that, bring it to life, but then make sure that cover is a cover that's going to stand out, that's going to be unique from everything else that you see on Amazon, so that authors are captivated by it and they order that book. So yes, book covers are so important. In fact, I'll tell you this, and this has nothing to do with publishing with Shiro. If you have a book right now that you published and the book is not moving, you might want to just think about rebranding the book. It can be as simple as getting a new book cover and rebranding and relaunching. Having a second launch can drastically improve your book sales.
Yes, that is a fact, a proven fact. Listen, talking about book covers, one of the reasons I asked that question is because a lot of authors think that they're Oprah Winfrey. And sometimes when you speak to some of them and you suggest maybe you shouldn't put your photo on there, let us try something different for you, they may get a little offended. They may get, how do you as a publisher feel about someone putting their photo on their covers?
We recommend that you keep your photos on the back of the book. Your book cover is supposed to be generic enough to draw anyone to your book. Okay, I'm just gonna throw this out there. You want your book cover to captivate every audience. Okay, unfortunately, when we put our pictures on book covers, it can limit your audience. You don't want to do that. And I know you all look beautiful. I know your photos are great. We do have some authors that want their pictures on their cover, which is fine. But just know, unless you are a celebrity or you have a huge following, that you are carving out your book just to your following. And we do have some authors like that have hundreds of thousands of followers on social media. That's okay. They can do that because their book is for their followers. But if you are publishing a book and your book is for a generic audience of people you don't know yet who will be ordering your book, then your cover needs to captivate that entire audience, meaning keep it as generalized as possible. Put your photo on the back if you want to, but it's the front of the cover that's going to sell it. Okay, so we've had to rebrand with some authors to actually take photos off of the covers, and we've seen increases in sales. So this is a
Yeah.
proven fact. I mean, all publishers will tell you this. When you remove a picture or a photo off the front, unless it's a generic picture, but if it's a personal picture of you as the author, if you take that picture off and rebrand your cover, you will see an increase in sales. It's just a proven fact.
I agree. I agree with you on that one so much. This is such a good conversation tonight. I hope that you all that are sitting around the table with us, whether you are drinking milk, water, champagne, wine, whatever it is, that you know that if there is a book in you, there is someone to help you bring it to fruition. Shero Publishing, they are very professional. They will work with you. One of the things that I wanted to ask you was, uh, how do you actually, let me make sure I phrase this properly. How do you actually choose to work with a client? Have you ever refused to work with a client?
Yes. Okay. So, as a
Okay.
publishing company, all projects have to align with the vision of your company. Our company works with female and male authors who with empowerment books. So stories that are meant to empower, children's books that are meant to motivate the youth and inspire. So not every story or every genre is going to be right for Shero Publishing. So we have had situations where an author's story or their focused audience might not be something that aligns with the vision of Shero Publishing, but we always give them suggestions of other ways to publish, other publishing companies that would fit better with their story or other ways to publish. Absolutely. We're not going to leave anybody without a solution. That's our
A
goal.
solution. That is absolutely awesome. And I'm going to touch on this question real quickly. How important is the determination and how the pricing of your book?
Pricing is very important. You want to always look at competitor pricing. We always take into consideration the content of the book, the number of pages, and just the genre when we're looking at pricing. Children's books are going to be priced different from coaching books or adult books. So it just depends on the entire book when we develop pricing, but you never want to outprice your book. Meaning if your book is priced too high, we have some people that come in and they really want their book to be $24.99. Okay, if your book is $24.99, it needs to be a coaching book that is going with the course. Okay. But if not, we probably need to bring that pricing down. So you want to be competitive in your pricing, and you can do your homework. We'll do it for you. We're going to show you what competitor books are priced similar to yours on Barnes and Noble, on Amazon. Our books are, or our authors are actually on over 40,000 platforms and distributors. So we're going to share with them how to really price their book to be competitive with those in their genre. But we want to make sure that you're not underpricing your book or overpricing it, because that's very, very important.
Okay, great. Listen, I just want to remind you that we are a sponsored show, and Lorraine Bar International is the sponsor of this show. Lorraine, they actually helped our young lady in the Philippines about 2 months ago with reconstructive surgery, and they paid for the entire surgical procedure for her. So they are a good resource for those that may be experiencing a need, going through recovery. So I would ask you, if you can, to donate to them at $Lorraine Bar 1 Cash App, $Lorraine Bar 1, or you can go to their website and you could donate from there. So please, let's just reach out and help in any way that you may be able to. It would be greatly appreciated by them and by me. Before we get ready to close this evening, I want to just give my guest, my fantastic guest, Erica Perry Green of Shero Publishing an opportunity to just share whatever is on her heart concerning this subject of publishing, and invite you once again to go to their website if you are thinking about publishing, to see what they have to offer. So, Erica, could you just let our audience know anything that you would like them to know this evening about Shero Publishing?
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, first of all, I want to thank you, our vision coach, coach, and I say Apostle Alicia, for allowing me to be on tonight. I want to thank all of you for attending and those who will watch later on. And I want you to understand that when you publish a book, you're leaving a written legacy. When I first published my first book, I thought, I can see my children, my great grandchildren, reading about their great grandmothers years from now. So, do you have a written legacy? If not, publish your stories, publish those recipes from your family, publish your traditions, publish your heritage, get it down in a book so that you can leave that for the next generations. If you are a business owner, don't leave money on the table. Make sure that you have all of your expertise. A lot of you, and I was guilty of this too, a lot of you are giving things away. You're giving your knowledge away. You're giving your expertise away. But did you know that we at Shero Publishing can help you to take that expertise and create an ebook, a workbook, a journal, a published book in 30 or 60 days that you can now sell every time someone asks you, well, how did you do this? How did you get started? What do I need to do to be like you? Instead of giving that away, start to charge for it. Get it in a written book. It's so important that you're not leaving money on the table. And if you're saying, I have a story, but I'm not sure that I have enough for a book, or I need help to birth it, listen, you are not alone. We help hold your hand from start to finish, from idea and concept, from something you woke up in the middle of the night with, to a polished work. The whole goal of Shero Publishing is to help unleash the Shero. So we help you to birth your baby and birth your vision of that published book. So throughout the entire process, we're going to hold your hand until you actually have a book in your hand. So you're never going to be alone. It's not overwhelming. And listen, so many authors come to us and they say, Erica, I've been working on this thing for 4 years, 2 years, 3 years. And I'm thinking to myself, if you had only called us years ago, you would have had that book in hand. So remember, it only takes 60 to 90 days to get that book in hand. So it doesn't matter how long you've been working on it. If you want it done, let's get it done. And it starts with that free book consultation. Just go to SheroPublishing.com. Click on the scheduler and pick your time. And one of our team will meet with you and help you to create a plan to birth that baby, to get that book out off your vision board and get it out in print. If you've been saying, I need to become a published author, there's no time like now. We've had more authors through COVID than any other time because everybody has free time right now. And everybody also knows that our time is limited. We don't know how much time we have. And so we can't keep putting off what God is telling us to do today. So if he's giving you a vision, then you need to go ahead and start moving towards it. And he always gives a provision. And we're going to give you the guidance to get it done. So understand that, yes, you have a story. Yes, your story is important. I want y'all to get that. Your story is important and your story needs to be heard. And he did not bring you out just for yourself. He brought you out to bless and empower others, for those who are still in that story, for those who are still in that relationship that need to understand that there's a way out. They need to hear from you. So if you are that person who's watching this and you're saying, I need to do that, reach out to us and we will hold your hand through the process. And we're so excited to see you birth your story and know that you will never be alone when you're working with Shero Publishing. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for allowing me to share. And we look forward to seeing all of the new authors that are to come.
You are so welcome. See, the word of God tells us to write the vision down and make it plain. So if you get that paper and you get that pen and you start, remember the Bible has 66 books. It took some writing so that we can have that to read. And so if you have something that you believe that someone needs to read, start writing and then find your publisher. I had a boss that always would say, and she meant this when we went out to a sales call or whatever, that get that contract signed, because she would always say, if it isn't written, it isn't said. And that is so true. So Erica, thank you so much for being my guest on Around the Table tonight. It has been an awesome pleasure. I have learned a lot, and believe me, this will not be your last time. So thank you again for being with us tonight. Share this broadcast. Share, because this is not just for you. It's for all the others to know that Shero Publishing is waiting on you. Get to that website, sheropublishing.com, and book your 30-minute call with the authors. So, Erica, until next time, I am going to say, as I always do, ta-ta. God bless you.
God bless you. Thank you so much.
Listen, don't forget to join me for the after show in the green room over on Facebook in about 5 minutes. 5 minutes, I'll be in the green room talking to you.